Hi, I'm Cher, the Shadow Walker, and I'm taking a look at British Columbia, the Northwest Territories, Yellowknife, the Yukon, Alaska, and the Pacific Northwest of the United States for strange and weird occurrences and animal mutilations in the past 48 hours. And I'm starting with British Columbia. And on March 28th, in the Caribou region near Williams Lake at 11:45 p.m., two yearling cattle found with precision cauterized removals of their tongue and left ear. Wounds were seared and bloodless, no tracks found in the surrounding mud. However, one rancher and one farmhand reported a low, heavy humming that preceded a silent flash of light, and they reported it to the UFO of British Columbia and to the into the Agriculture Association. And in the Pitt Lake area on March 29th at 1:10 a.m., multiple reports of a cigar-shaped craft with glowing blue sections moving slowly over the water. Electronic devices, phones, cameras, etc. failed during the sighting. And four campers and a night shift security officer noted a deadening sound in the vicinity. They reported it to the Digital Paranormal Forum. And on March 29th in the Okanagan Valley near Vernon at 3:20 a.m., a horse was found with an incision along its jawline. The edge of the wound appeared glassy and hardened and showed signs of heat cauterization. And it was the property owner that reported it. He also noted that his dog refused to go outside and whimpered. And he reported it to the local veterinarian and to the BC SPCA. And on March 30th, in the Kootenay region near Cranbrook, at 12:40 a.m., a series of metallic orbs observed moving in a staggering V. The formation over the Mount Baker Hotel area, and rapid erratic maneuvers were reported. 5 local residents described the objects as silent, self-illuminating against the dark sky. And they reported to Transport Canada and the ufology research in British Columbia. In the Northwest Territories, Yellowknife, and the Yukon in the last 48 hours, we're going to start with March 28th in the Yellowknife area, approach to the runway 34, 11:20 a.m. There was brilliant white lights, 2 of them moving in a non-ballistic circular pattern at 27,000 feet. The objects were not on the radar. Pilots of a regional chartered flight reported lights remained visible during the entire descent. And they reported it to Transport Canada. On March 29th in the Yukon, near Haines Junction, at 1:45 a.m., a wood bison found with precision cauterized rectangular patch removed from its hide. Wound was bone dry and heat sealed. And a local hunter noted that the area was unnaturally silent with no birds or wind noise. And they reported it to the Yukon Environment and the conservationists in that area. On March 29th, in the Mackenzie Highway area near Enterprise, at 3:30 a.m., multiple reports of a cigar craft with no visible wings or propulsion. The vehicle headlights flickered as it passed overhead. And 2 long-haul truckers described static charge at that same time that made their hair stand up. And they reported it to the Northwest Highway Patrol and ufology research. And on March 30th, near Whitehorse in the South Perimeter at 12:30 a.m., a series of metallic orbs performing high-speed maneuvers over the Yukon River. Objects faded in and out rather than flew away. and 4 independent residents noted a pulsing blue glow reflective on the snow, and they reported it to the UFO Reporting Center. And in Washington State, on March 28th, Mount Rainier, Paradise area, at 10:50 p.m., multiple reports of a reflective saucer-like craft moving in formation at high altitudes. No sound recorded. Object appeared to blink in and out instantaneously. And at the same time, 3 experienced hikers and 2 park staff noted a sudden drop in ambient temperature during the sighting, and they reported it to the National UFO Reporting Center. Montana, over the last 48 hours, on March 28th, in the Cascade County near Great Falls at 10:50 p.m., reports of 3 amber orbs moving in a triangle formation near Maelstrom AFB perimeter. Electronic interference reported in nearby vehicles. And 2 ranchers and a security guard that was off duty noticed static hum in the air. And they reported it to the Ufology Research Center, and it was reported privately to the Maelstrom security log. On March 29th, in Pondera County, in the Conrad area, at 2:10 a.m., 2 black Angus cows found with precision cauterized removal of their tongue and left eye. Sight was entirely bloodless, with no tracks on the ground or signs of a struggle. And also noted, 1 property owner reported a silent blue-white flash over the pasture at 2 a.m., and they reported it to the Montana Department of Livestock and to a local veterinarian service. On March 29th, 2026, Fergus County near Lewiston Lake, at 3:45 a.m., 1 heifer found with a clean seared incision along the jawline and the rectal area. The edges of the wounds appeared glassy and hardened. And also, 2 independent residents both reported low-frequency vibrations that rattled their windows at that time. And it was reported to the Fergus County Sheriff and to a private investigators network. On March 30th, in the Highland regions on Highway 2 corridor at 1:15 a.m., there was a cigar-shaped craft with no visible wings, lights moving slowly west towards Idaho, Panhandle area. And so there was 4 motorists that noticed this in the sky, and they said it blurred the stars it passed overhead, and they reported it to the UFO Reporting Center, the national one, and that's been seen right across the entire country. In Idaho State, in the past 48 hours, in the Camas County Fairfield area on March 28th at 11:40 p.m., 2 bulls found with precision cauterized removal of the tongue and left ear. Wounds were seared and bloodless and showed a glassy like to the edge of them. And I wonder why they just keep removing the left ear. And it's the 2 ranchers, a local rancher and his neighbors, that reported a low frequency hum at the same time and a silent blue flash just prior to the discovery of the bulls. They reported it to the Idaho Department of Agriculture and the National UFO Reporting Center. And in Snake River Plain, near Palacto, March 29th at 2:15 p.m., multiple reports of a packed floating black dots or refracting orbs that were difficult to focus on. Object performed non-ballistic zooming maneuvers, so they created convergence in the people. And that was by 5 residents and a family, noted that the objects seemed to cloak or distort the light around them. They reported it to the Palacto Police Department and the Ufology Research West. Boy, that's a mouthful, that one. Okay, and on March 29th, in Idaho, Dark Sky Reserve area, the Central Dark Sky Reserve area, At 3:50 a.m., a sighting of a large cigar craft with no visible propulsion lights. It was described as blurring the stars as it moved slowly towards the Utah border. And also noted was 3 backcountry campers reported all battery and operated gear, headlamps, and GPSs failed for 10 minutes. And it was reported to the UFO national database. And on March 30th, in Lewiston County, at 1:20 a.m., a yearling was found in a catatonic state with bloodless seared incisions along the spine. No predator tracks or signs of a struggle in the vicinity. It was also noted that one property owner's livestock became violent and agitated for 20 minutes before the sighting. Idaho State Police is where they reported it to. In Alaska, in the 48 hours, March 28th, in the Ukkiavik area near the North Slope at 11:45, a cigar-shaped craft, a large one, with a matte black finish and soft blue underglow that moved at an estimated 2,000 miles per hour without creating a sonic boom. And also noted were that 3 oil rig workers and a bush pilot noted that all their handheld radios experienced a pulsing static, and they reported it to the North Slope Borough Police. On March 29th, the Alaskan Triangle, near Brooks Range at 2:30 p.m., the discovery of a caribou with an incision cauterization on the chest and neck. The heart and thyroid were missing, and the cavity was bloodless and heat sealed. Sorry, I was having a puppy issue here. And 2 indigenous hunters reported that there was a dead zone where even the wind seemed to stop making noise, and they reported it to the Alaskan Department of Fish and Games. And on March 29th, in the Fairbanks area, at 4:10 a.m., multiple metallic orbs, 5 units, observed hovering over a fuel storage area. Objects slowed and strobed like flickered before accelerating vertically at Mach speed. And also noted 4 local residents and a commercial truck driver's dash cam footage showed a distinct blur around the orbs. They reported it to the Elston AFB Security and the ufology. And on March 30th, in the Dene National Park at 1:15, that's the Denali, National Park at 1:15 a.m., sighting of a large silent disc with rotating red perimeter lights was reported dipping into the mountain valley before vanishing. Also noted 2 park rangers and 3 winter campers reported digital compasses spun erratically during the event. Interesting. They reported it to the National Parks Services. And that's it. Thank you so much for listening. I greatly appreciate your time. And if you could like, share, and subscribe, it's all free. And remember, if you see something, my email's there. Please report it. And have a wonderful day. Thank you.